Hello and welcome to the 8th video in our Beginner's Guide to Python series. Today I'm going to be going over for loops and while loops in Python and how we can use them to run blocks of code multiple times. So let's get into it. Firstly, I'm going to be explaining while loops. While loops will cycle over a block of code as long as the condition in the while loop is true. So let's use an example. So let's first declare a variable. We'll say x is equal to 1 and then we'll write the while loop underneath here. So while x is less than 5, we're going to want to print out hello YouTube. Okay, let's save that and run and see what happens. So as you can see, it's just going to print forever. That's because nothing is changing the variable in this while loop. X is always equal to 1, so x is always less than 5, so it's just going to keep on printing out forever. Well, what about if we only want to run it, let's say 5 times? Well, we can increment the value of x inside of the while loop. So we can do x plus equals 1. When this loop runs, it's going to say, okay, is x less than 5? Well, it is here. So at the minute, x is 1. So we'll print out this statement here, and then we will add 1 to the variable. So now if we run it, let's see what happens. There you go. Well, it only prints out 4 times there. If we set this less than or equal to. Let's do it again. There you go. Runs 5 times. Okay, so now we know how while loops work, but what about a for loop? For loops allow us to iterate over a sequence, such as lists and strings, and then do something for each item in that sequence. So let's use an example to explain. So we'll get rid of this and we'll set a new variable called name, and we'll set that equal to Josh. So under here, we'll write our for loop. So we start with the keyword for, and then we're going to use a temporary variable here. So we'll just say letter. So for every letter in name, we want to do something. Well, since we've got a variable here, we can just say print letter. So every time this runs now, it's going to say for every letter in Josh, so these 4 here, every letter in name, we want to print out that letter. So we should just get Josh written in the console. So let's run. There you go, it does each one individually and prints the new character on each line. We can also use this to cycle over every item in a list. We learnt about lists in the last video, so if you haven't seen that one yet, feel free to pause the video and then come back after watching that. Okay, so let's say we have a list of prime numbers. We'll set that equal to, I'll just do the first few prime numbers, so 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. Alright, I'll stop there. So we can use a for loop to iterate over every single item in this sequence and print each one out individually. So let's do that now. We do for number. There again, we're using a temporary variable. We can set this equal to anything. We could say pineapples if we really wanted to, but just to make it easier to understand, I'll just put number. So for number in prime. Oh my god, my spelling is atrocious. In prime numbers, we want to do something. Wait, why is this? Oh, I called it primer numbers. My mistake. There we go. For number in prime number, we want to print out each number. So print number. Okay, so if we run this now, it will give us a list of each one of these. There we go, it's printed them all out. Thank you so much for watching this video. We're only one video away now until the end of the series, so if you've made it this far, then firstly, well done, and secondly, make sure to watch the next video where I go over functions in Python and how we can use them to reuse blocks of code. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, then consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.